Hey everybody, this is Glitch, and today I'm bringing to you a cast between these two lovely players, imbaLoWeLy and EmpireKas. This will be a ZVT on Shakuras Plateau with imbaLoWeLy as Zerg spawning in the bottom right position, while EmpireKas is spawning here in the bottom left position. For those of you that don't know much about me, I'm actually brand new to casting. I have actually casted very few games in my time. I'm just starting out recently, actually yesterday, and I'm hoping to do a bit of casting in the future. I watch a lot of replays, I play a lot of Starcraft, so I thought it would be a little bit fun and interesting for me to actually cast some of my games and put them out on YouTube for you guys to watch. We saw a little bit of an extractor trick here out of imbaLoWeLy to get that 11 supply, get that little economic boost at the beginning, and we see EmpireKas doing the oh-so typical supply depot at the choke there, in case there's any kind of rushes to wall off. We've got imbaLoWeLy sending Overlord over to scout this bottom left position. Very shortly he will be seeing that EmpireKas has spawned directly opposite to him. Interestingly enough, we see two drones moving down to the natural for imbaLoWeLy. One will be throwing down that hatchery, the other looks like it is going for a scout. So it looks like we are seeing a hatch first out of imbaLoWeLy. This tends to indicate a more economic play, though at times I have seen players try to feign an expansion hatch and then just use it as a hatch for extra larva and actually just ling rush an opponent. imbaLoWeLy is checking the front of EmpireKas' base right now, and he sees that there is a barracks and a supply depot down, indicating a wall off is coming. Yes, here comes the SCV now for the wall off. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not, but the Marine is now out on the field, and this drone is not going to get any more scouting information in. Oh, look at this. EmpireKas is expanding already. That is a very fast command center. After only one barracks and one Marine, he's throwing down a command center. This is because he has scouted imbaLoWeLy's base, and he has seen that all he has right now at this point is a hatchery. He has thrown down a spawning pool, but that is not going to be up, meaning he's not going to see Zerglings for a little while. Both players have now scouted each other. imbaLoWeLy's expansion at his natural has just come up, and he's transferring a few workers over there. On the EmpireKas side of things, we see EmpireKas moving his barracks down to begin a wall off on his lower ramp to protect both his natural and his main. This is something we see pretty commonly with both Terran and Protoss players. It's fairly easy to get an expansion down on this map, so we see very commonly a lot of players going for that fast expansion. As I said before, though, this is a pretty fast expansion from EmpireKas. It is almost up. We see a couple of queens coming out for imbaLoWeLy. He is just droning like crazy. If we check out the worker count right now, not too bad, not too bad. It's imbaLoWeLy is up 23 to 20. No gas though, no gas, strictly droning. Oh, and of course, as I say that, imbaLoWeLy throws down two gas geysers at his main. Still just droning like crazy though. If we look at the production tab, we see mostly drones going down, a few more queens. He's bringing up one more queen, and he's throwing down a spine crawler just in case he sees any pressure. He is scouting the front with a couple of Zerglings, sees that EmpireKas is walling off with just a few barracks, knows that there can't be too much early pressure coming because he knows that EmpireKas has expanded and that there's not much of a chance of having too many army units out at this time just because of that early orbital command. Interestingly enough though, EmpireKas, we can see, is going for a third command center already. This is a very, very fast command center. EmpireKas going for a very, very fast economic build. He's really trying to get his economy going before he starts pumping units. He has currently, I believe, 3 racks down, and he's just throwing down a factory. Up till now, he's been mining mostly minerals. He actually has just thrown down a refinery right now. A second refinery, that is. He's only been on one this entire time. Looks like pumping mostly Marines. None of his barracks have any add-ons yet. On the the Zerg side of things, we see a couple of extractors going down, throwing down a couple more spine crawlers for some defense and walling off his own natural with a couple of Evo chambers. This is a play that I love to see by Zerg. I love the double Evo chamber for double upgrades. Right now, we still only have a spawning pool. Zergling speed is coming up. It'll be interesting to see if he's just going to stick with Zerglings, or whether he will go for roaches with those Evo chambers. That remains to be seen. The command center, the third command center for EmpireKas is now done, and right now he's just using it to build extra SCVs. He's getting crazy SCV production. We can look at the worker count right now. We can see that EmpireKas, even though Zerg is just droning like crazy, EmpireKas is actually, because of the third command center, is keeping up pretty well. The harvester count right now is 44 to 42. imbaLoWeLy up by 2. His lair is up, and he's now throwing down another hatchery, a third hatchery, and that is my phone. Alright, next time remember to put that on silent. Keep that in mind. Hatchery. Third hatchery going down for imbaLoWeLy. On the EmpireKas side of things, we see now a fourth Rax has gone down, as well as a starport, which is producing a Banshee. No Banshee cloaking is up yet. We will see if he is going to get that down. Mostly an army of Marines right now. If we check out the units tab right now, we see that all EmpireKas has is 21 Marines to Lowly's 26 Zerglings right now. So both players just going for heavy econ. We'll be able to see some action later, I'm sure, but for now both players are just trying to get that econ going as strong as they can. Looks like Lowly here is getting ready to set up a third. He needs to do that ASAP just because of that extra orbital command by EmpireKas. EmpireKas is going to be getting ridiculous money just from all the extra mules and the extra drones. If we look at the production tab, we can see imbaLoWeLy making use of those two Evo chambers, getting that melee attack and carapace upgrades for his Zerglings. Those will allow his Zerglings to last a little bit longer in those fights against those Marines. One thing that I very much like, one advantage to having Zerglings as a Zerg player, is that you can very cheaply put Zerglings at every expansion. If not with Zerglings, you can do it with Overlords. But Zerglings are a very cheap, very cheap way to just keep an eye on every single base. You really don't lose much by just throwing one Zergling at each base, just to be sure that a player isn't expanding at all. Here we have this Banshee now. It's made it across the field. It is now attacking the hatchery. But we have, I don't think, anything that can shoot up from Zerg right now. From Zerg, we see there is an infestation pit down, but that's about it. All we have right now is this one queen to take on. Oh, and this queen does go down. This Banshee is just barely alive, but Lowly has nothing really that he can send over here to finish off this Banshee at the moment. This hatchery might go down unless he gets another queen out here soon. What is Lowly doing? He needs to get something over here to stop this Banshee. It's almost done. It's getting so many drone kills. This thing's already at 9 kills. And this hatchery is taking a lot of damage. And there it is. The queen finally arrives and takes it down. In the meantime, we can see that EmpireKas is now expanding to his third. Wait a minute, that's a 4th command center. EmpireKas has 4 command centers out on the field right now, and he is moving out with his force of Marines and siege tanks. This is a typical set of units to move out with for Terran players against Zerg. It's very common and it's very strong. Very commonly, these siege tanks, you'll see them siege up. Hopefully a little bit spread out, just in case the Zerg opponent has Banelings, in which case those siege tanks will be able to do massive damage to the Banelings before they connect with the Marines. Scan going down. He is sieging up in the middle of the map and staying behind the bushes to prevent vision. Oh, but they are moving in quick, and the infestors... Oh man, Lowly throws down the infested Terran Marines all around those siege tanks and easily cleans those up. All these Marines did stim, and they are all down to really low health. One fungal growth and those things will all be taken out, so he is moving back EmpireKas, that is. We now have that third by imbaLoWeLy, which is now up and looks pretty well saturated. I would like to see a fourth out of Lowly pretty soon. His creep spread is excellent, though. 3 bases versus 3 bases. You always kind of want to be 1 base ahead as Zerg. And there it is. It is like he read my mind. His fourth is now going down. Zerglings are out scouting the map, just checking what's going on, checking the haps. These siege tanks, I don't know what he's doing. He's not a good engagement. Oh, those infestors. One infestor goes down. They did manage to get off a fungal growth, though, on those Marines, which, man, at this point in the game, those fungal growths do so much damage to those Marines. A couple of fungal growths is all it takes to take out a lot of Marines. We do see some more upgrades going up for imbaLoWeLy. His 2-2 is about to be finished. Do we have upgrades for EmpireKas? No, his Marines are 1-0. They do have a plus attack upgrade, but that's about it. Again, a fungal growth goes down on the Marines. The Zerglings are moving in to do what damage they can, but man, those fungal growths are just doing massive damage. I actually really like this. The spine crawlers right on the other sides of the bushes. These are spine crawlers that EmpireKas cannot see, but they can attack because of this creep tumor. This creep tumor here gives imbaLoWeLy's spine crawlers vision to the other side of the bushes. So these can attack from the other side, but the Marines can't shoot them. Oh, we see a drop going down by EmpireKas to take out this fourth by imbaLoWeLy. This is very well timed by EmpireKas. He just, so far for every expansion Lowly has had, EmpireKas has been there and ready to take down his expansions. First with the Banshee, now with this Marine drop. Oh, and the expansion does go down. imbaLoWeLy is really going to have to get that expansion back up if he wants to keep up economically. Oh my god, and EmpireKas expanding again. There is so much expanding going on in this game by EmpireKas. He's going to have such a strong econ. If we look at the income, let's actually check. Oh my goodness, he's got almost 1,000 more minerals coming in. Oh, fungal growth goes down. Doesn't catch very much in it, though. Man, it is a close game right now. For a while, after that first attack got cleaned up so fast by imbaLoWeLy, I thought we were doing pretty well, or he was doing pretty well, but it looks like that is now been about evened out. Oh my god, not evened out, but EmpireKas is actually far ahead. imbaLoWeLy is going to need to get some Hive Tech units up here. He is actually going for both Ultralisks and Broodlords. His Spire is now morphing into a Greater Spire, so we might see some Ultralisks and Broodlords here coming in soon. EmpireKas once again expanding, taking another expansion, double expanding. He is feeling very confident about